Psalm 91. The songwriter trusts a lot in God's protection, and pretty much he says that God will protect him through pretty much anything that is evil, and that God will place his angels to guard over people who trust in God, who come to God as their defender, their protector. He did acknowledge that they will have trouble right here. When they are in trouble, God will be with them. He will rescue them and honor them. So that's God speaking. So we know this is true, that it doesn't mean that we won't be in trouble, but when we are in trouble, God is there. And so the people who acknowledge God as God, acknowledge God as Lord, God will save those who love God and will protect those who acknowledge God as Lord. So I think that is a truth. And the psalm writer actually goes beyond it. It seems like when he's writing it seems like people who trust in God will never have trouble, will always be protected. But I don't think that's the case, because when God says it, he tells us that we might be in trouble, and but he will protect. And so I also know that God is all powerful and he knows all things and he's everywhere. So we know that whatever God lets happen to us, there's a greater purpose behind it, if it is considered trouble to us. So, and God will strengthen us through that. So 3-13. This is something the psalm writer writes, so I'm not like, I think it's interesting, but I'm not sure if it's, well, all scripture is inspired. So, okay. So God would keep me safe from all hidden dangers, from all deadly diseases. If he wishes for me to have deadly diseases, that's in his will. And I know of Christians who die of COVID. Well, I don't personally know, but like just from messages in the church, I know of Christians who die of COVID. So it's not a universal thing. What God will is beyond us. We can't really. But God will cover me with his wings. I will be safe in his care. Yes, that's true. God's faithfulness will protect and defend me. That's true. So even though all scripture is inspired, there are scripture that are prescriptive and there are scripture that are descriptive. So descriptive is just telling a story about what happened. Like for example, the songwriter, we get a glimpse into his thought, but that doesn't mean that it's what God is saying. Parts where God says or God commands us to do things, the prescriptive part and as well as a descriptive part, but we know it's coming from God, then we can for sure know that that is what he thinks. If it's coming from a psalm writer, like a psalm writer point of view, then we can understand that is what the psalm writer thinks. Cái gì con? Mà không có biết. It doesn't mean that it's not true because that's exactly what the psalm writers think at that point. It just means that we can't really say that that's what God thinks from what the psalm writer thinks. So I do not need to fear any danger at night, or sudden attack during the day, or the plagues that strike in the dark, or the evil that kills in daylight. I think that's true, because with God, when we know that he's in control, we do not have fear of those things. If those things come, let it come. But God will protect us as he sees fit. So we don't need to live in fear. We just live in faith. 1,000 may fall dead besides me, 10,000 all around me, but I will not be harmed. Well, again, that's not like a sure promise. That's based on what God just will. So I will look and see how the wicked are punished. I have made the Lord my defender, the Most High my protector, and so no disaster will strike me. Again, with disaster, it's in God's will. It's not a for sure thing that I will not face disaster. No violence will come near my home. I hope that is the case, and I think most of the time it's true that God would protect us, but if he uses a violence or something like that to teach us something, that's in his will. God will put his angel in charge of me to protect me wherever I go. They will hold me up with their hands to keep me from hurting my feet on the stone. Well, I've hurt my feet. So again, this is a metaphor of God's protection, like that the angels will be in charge of me. It doesn't mean like I won't ever hurt my feet. I will trample down lions and snakes, fierce lions and poisonous snakes. So this is the psalm writer part ending, and this is God saying, I will save those who love me. So God will save those who love him and will protect those who acknowledge God as Lord. When they call to me, I will answer them. When they are in trouble, I will be with them. God will be with them. God will rescue them and honor them. God will reward them with long life. God will save them. Yes, so God hears our prayer. I think the verses in the psalm, like, I don't really pay attention much to the psalm writer part. They're nice poetry and they express his trust in God. I think they're a little bit detached from reality. So the verses that are particularly meaningful to me is what God says. I think the message of God is that he will save, and he is the God of the living, not of the dead. So he protects those who acknowledge him as Lord, and he will answer our prayer. He will listen to us when we are in trouble, when we are in distress. And I think those are very real and true words, and it reflects the heart of God, and it comforts me. Amen.